Hi all, thank you very much to joining with me another one video. Uh, Next, I am planning to two videos for discussing about the ledgers. So, first video, I am going to concentrate that to make you understand what is ledger and what the benefit you will get in the concept with ledgers when it is come in terms of multiple ledger under one company, and Sage X3 is capable to do that multi-company transactions under one folder. So we are going to discuss now the general idea about the ledgers. To discuss that, let me open one Excel sheet. Okay, ledger is nothing but it is a bookkeeping record for your transaction that you will make under a company. Let's an example. When you are booking an invoice against your supplier, that is your subledger that you will do under APAR module, and that is the subledger, and the effect you will get into your ledger, that is nothing but your general ledger. So ledger will keep your transaction in such a way that to give you proper reports and to analyze your business and analyze your each account balances. So the main thing is in any company when you are configure the system, definitely there will be a main ledger. The main ledger can trigger or associated with another ledger. So first few minutes we are going to discuss about main ledger, then we will discuss about what is that associated ledger, that is a multi ledger concept within a transaction. Okay, let's assume that you have one invoice or supplier invoice and you are booking in your subledger APAR module. Then the effect you will get into your JV level, like below. Here you will say that according to Sage X3, there is a site concept is there. We will discuss the site concept in another video, but just assume that you have a site, and under this site you are going to make your transaction debit and credit. So after that site, under the site is belongs to your one company, so that company is belongs already configured with the ledger. So when you are getting a JV effect in your general ledger, definitely the first account is triggering, it's your main ledger. Let's assume that you are a country called Saudi Arabia, so you designed your ledger called KSA ledger, and or KSA ledger, that is ledger is belongs to a chart of account. So I will put it is it's a C chart of account, and there will be your account will be there. So there will be account description you will get, and you will say that this is my debit and this is my credit. And if there is any dimensional analytical view is there, yes, you will get dimension in your ledger level. So in our previous example study purpose, we created two type of dimension, that is one is nothing but department and another one is employee. So when that JV is generating the particular account is, let's say example, you are booking an invoice for one expense of your rent expense, the debit amount is 1000, and your department is IT department, then that employee is not tagged to this rent because you don't want to track the rent based on your employee. then another one account it will come your liability account, that is it can be starts to 0001, and it is your supplier AP account, and the amount is 100,000, and there is no way to tag your dimension, because normally dimensions are using for your tracking your expense level to get a good report from the system. So having said that, if you can see that the site 1, here it is there under site 1, this entry you got it. So if you look here in this particular site or this particular company, there is a transaction happened with a chart of account. Chart of account is nothing but belongs to one of your ledger. So when you are selecting an account here, so this all transactions are keeping under this ledger. So this is the primary ledger for this company. So this is a single ledger we are talking about. So now I can understand that you are understanding what that ledger concept it is. So that second ledger concept I need to talk about is a multi-ledger concept. Let's assume that there is a requirement from your client side saying that I need to, okay, the main primary levels I will keep my transaction here, but there is another one reporting ledger I need to consolidate my reports from other company. Like, let's assume that you are getting an opportunity to work with a company to configure the system for two companies. So that one company is in Saudi Arabia, and another one company is into Bahrain. Uh, but the same time that the chart of account you are using for these two companies are different, because the business of nature of each company business is different, so that you decided that you can go with a different chart of account. So that means under you have two companies, and you are saying that I have one main ledger or main chart of account which is associated to each of my company. But the same time, management they need to get a consolidated report out of this in such a format, in their own format, like for tracking purpose or for government reporting purpose, or you can say that top management level. So they will, you will decide that whenever there is a transaction is happening, I need to track in another one chart of account which is common to these two companies. So you will decide that, okay, I need one more chart of account within the system called consolidate COA, consolidate chart of account something. So let's assume that this is one of your company A. When there is a transaction is happen, system will generate one JV for you. So to keeping that the same effect to some other chart of account, to get the effect, system will not generate another one JV for you. It's not the right way. Instead of that, what system will provide you is system will give you another one selection for your COA, consolidate ledger or chart of account, COA, CON. So where you will select that your chart of account, you will say that whenever there is an expense happening from this side, all that expense category you will put under 5A, that is 5A, that is nothing but your chart of account you configured and you tag to a ledger. So this time this is nothing but 2A, that is control account. So what is the benefit you will get? It is from 1 JV system is keeping your primary ledger for keeping debit and credit, and the same time it is keeping another one account in for handling your reporting purpose. So generally when you are creating a accounts in the system, you will map whenever there is a transaction happening under this. So definitely there is a relation to this account, so you will tag it. So you can normally you will select it, the primary account, and the second account, your ledger account, it will come automatically. So this is the concept of ledger. A ledger can have analytical configuration, and it can have your budgeting. The ledger can have keep on your means keep track on your budgeting, and it can have commitments, and it can have that analytical dimension level information. So this is all about the ledger. I hope that you understand what is the ledger concept. So or in a particular company, you can go with 10 different ledger concept, that maximum of 10 different ledger concept. But having said that, a company should have one primarily general tracking ledger within the system. That means when there is a transaction is happening, system will give the preference to that primary thing. So the whatever we discussed here, we are going to configure it into Sage X3 system in our study purpose folder. So that video I am covering to that next video, how you can configure a ledger according to my requirement, what we discussed here. If you like the video, please share with your friend circle, and it will help those want to know the concept of ledger. So once again, thank you very much.